Hi everyone, it's Chelle from Chelle Crochet. Welcome to my November update. Hi everyone, welcome back to Chelle Crochet. How are you today? November, over, to the point where I lost a day. So this video was really last minute. I thought I had an extra day. So anyway, I rushed it and that's why I'm wearing my glasses today. So hopefully the glare is not too bad and I'll find out in editing, right? Let's start with some happy mail. I won a giveaway. And the funny thing about that is I really don't enter giveaways. I'm not really a giveaway person and we'll maybe get into that at another time, but somehow I'm in Seta from Seta's Place. Love Seta. And Seta, I hope you're feeling better soon and your mom is feeling better soon as well. So sorry to hear that you haven't been feeling well. So what I won was Seta's Facebook group's giveaway and there was 2 winners and I was one of those winners. So yay. And it was completely unexpected because I didn't even know that I was had a chance to win the giveaway. Super excited to have received the prize in the mail and I'm going to show it to you. There was this beautiful little tea and of course True Lemon and a little note from Seta on the back. So what I won was 3 of these beautiful Fashion Soft by Red Heart yarn skeins in the colorway Caribbean. And it's beautiful and it's so soft and I've never used this yarn before, so I'm super excited to be able to use it. Thank you so much, Seta and Lenore. Lenore is actually very helpful on Facebook as well for setting this all up, and congratulations to the other winner. And it's great to have over 1,000 members on Seta's group on Facebook. If you're not there, the link will be in the description box below. Come on over and join us. And some more happy mail. I received a beautiful card from our friend, Carrie Penny from the Happy Crafty Homemaker. And her cards are just amazing. I love watching other people open her cards. That's how amazing her cards are. And so I was super happy to receive this as well. Made my day. So thank you, Carrie Penny. And another thing I received from my friend Crystal at Ricola's Crochet Corner, I got this text and it said, "Could you be interested in doing an advent calendar?" And I thought, yes, because I'm behind and I don't really know what to do for advent calendars. Anyway, so she said she had one too many and she wanted to send me one of them. And so she did. And thank you so much, Crystal. And here it is. Wow! There are 8 little packages, and how this is going to work is I have decided, I know so many people are going to be doing Vlogmas, and I'm not typically a person who's going to get involved in the everyday vlogging because I don't think I could cope, but I'm going to come on a little bit more in December. So what I'm going to do is, it's an 8-day advent calendar. And what I'm going to challenge myself to do is actually complete the project as well. So what I want to do is open them first. So on either December 8th or 9th, I will be back and I will have opened all of them. And I'll try to do little clips of me opening each individual one on different days, December 1st through December 8th. And then I'm going to give myself from December 9th to December 16th, 8 more days to make a project using all of the yarn that's in those skeins. But I figure for the quantity it is, I should be able to get that done in about 8 days. So you will see me on around December 8th or 9th, and then around December 16th or 17th with updates on my advent calendar. And when I do show you the completed project around the 16th or so of December, I'm actually going to show you some more happy mail. I have a Christmas present from my friend Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, and I will be opening that present in that video as well, so that we can celebrate a little bit more Happy Mail then. It's been really hard to keep my hands off of it, but I've been successful. So I will show you all of those goodies and the completed project at that time. So yay! It's the most wonderful time of the year, right? So just having talked about Seta for a second, let's get to the calendar cal. So I have been participating all year in Seta's calendar cal for 2020, which is to make hats based on the calendar. Popping up a picture here that is an Alaskan calendar. And this month I have the hat. I'm going to put the name of the yarn on the screen here as you're seeing the hat. I think it's called, the color is called Lakehouse, and it is a red heart boutique Unforgettable waves, which I've never had before, and it's a single skein that I just had. This is a spiral beanie, so started in, you know, the spiral all the way down just to avoid the, you know, having a seam per se. And I mean, the colors are awesome for the calendar. I couldn't be more happy with the colors. It's just not my thing. I love that other people love it, but it's not my thing. I kept a piece, a couple of pieces, but like, I can't cope with that as one part of the yarn and right after it that. So you're going from almost like a 7 to a 1 in what? 3-4 inches. But you know what? When people gift it to me, it will be lovingly used. And I've had a couple come in grab bags and things like that as well before without labels, but you end up figuring it out, right? And the colors are always phenomenal. And the stitch definition when you're working it up is also phenomenal, except then you end up seeing parts where it doesn't look like you know how to crochet because the texture is so different from stitch to stitch. So not a huge fan of roving yarn. Very happy for all of you who are. But the color could not have been more perfect for this month's hat. So yay. One more month to go. How did that happen? And actually, I'm going to find out in what, 2 days what the last calendar item is. It's so crazy. So let's stick to hats for a minute. I had some camel yarn that was gifted me last Christmas. And I held this double to make 2 almost tween 8 to 10-year-old boy hats for Christmas presents. They're pretty much identical. They're spiral beanies, so no seam until you come down to the part of making the brim, and there are some post stitches on there. I know it's really hard to see because of the camo, but it gives the hat some nice texture, and it'll be super warm around the ears because of that. And hopefully that'll fit them for a couple years because of the nature of how it's made. Nice and warm, not slouchy, just beanie style. So those are going to a couple of young gentlemen in my life. So another hat I made, this one is actually for my dad, and I'm pretty confident he will not see this before he gets it. But I had made him a scarf in this yarn last year, and I'll pop up the name of the yarn below in terms of the colorway. But it's Premier Anti-Pilling, and it's held double. And this one should be big enough to go on my noggin. And it's just a beanie style with some post stitches at the brim again, which is my kind of go-to this year. I'm really loving not having a seam. So yeah, last year I had made him a corner to corner scarf in the same yarn. So now he'll have a set. And yeah, porch drop off on its way next weekend. Back to the camel yarn, I made another set starting with not a shawl we fudge it, but a cowl we fudge it. So same concept. I made this like the shawl we fudge it idea, where I just made up the pattern as I went. So I did half double, double, half double, and then I did 2 sets of 2 rows of different stitches until I had enough stitches to go all the way around. So every once in a while you'll get back to that half double, double, half double to separate them out. But I've got some trebles in here even. I've got V stitches. I've got a couple different kinds of V stitches. I got some lace in here. It's very loose. I did this with a 9mm hook on purpose so that it's not super warm. Just something to have around your neck and feel like you're covered, but not be overwhelmed with it, because I know some people run warm and they don't want things too hot. So, you know, it's got a little bit of flow, And it's got a little bit of bling, which I'll talk about in a second. And it's got a matching hat. So the rest of the camo yarn went to the ridged half double in the back loop style hat with a pom. And there we go. So the edging on the camo set was made with this ice yarn. And it's just called Sail Metallic Black Silver. And it's premium acrylic with 4% metallic, it says. It's really super nice. It's pretty thin, probably a 2. And it went great to just do a little finishing on the edge of the hat and on the edge of the cowl. And then the very last set I made is actually for me. And it is a hat with a pair of mitts. So I had made just that dust mitt and I didn't want to leave that to only count for my make 9. So I made myself a pair of mitts. Stare at these mitts really carefully. Do they look the same? What do you think, honestly? Do they look the same? Do they match? The reason I'm asking you is one was made top down and one was made bottom up. Now the one that was made bottom up, I did start it before the ribbing, but I just thought I'd have a bit of a fun time with my mitts because they're just for me. And they turned out so close. I mean, other than like just the tension being a little different in the actual mitt part, they turned out super, super close considering they were made differently. And this yarn is woolly, thick, and quick, I'm going to say, because that's what it feels like. And we all know I do not buy wool on purpose. However, this is a grab bag yarn that I got at Michael's last year, so there was no label on it, but I am 99.9% sure woolly, thick, and quick. So it'll be super warm, so perfect. And I may stick a pom-pom on the top of this hat. I may not. So on to what I'm wearing. I made myself a simple triangle granny shawl and I love it. Not exactly sure what the yarn is. I had 2 balls of this grab bag yarn and it is metallic. It's got like a gold metallic in it. It's softer than any metallic yarn I've ever touched in my life. So I would love to know what it is. And I'm loving the fact that it has a super Christmassy, you can wear this and be, you know, fun and 'tis the season in this. But I love that there's that little blue in there because it's going to go so awesome with jeans. And I mean, I just finished the yarn. So that's 2 100-gram balls of this yarn. If I can remember what hook size I used, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. And then I just did a very simple edging, which is just a double edging. So across the granny, so the granny stitch is being used, right? So across the grannies, it's just a chain 4 and then single crochet into the hole, chain 4, single crochet into the hole. So you have just a slight bit of a gapping there. You have to see what your tension's like. You might want a chain of 5 and then another row of that over it, and you're chaining into the chain. So like a tiny little bit of mesh, right? And then a tiny little picot on the corners. And I can, you know, put it around my shoulders. So, you know, back in the day when we actually went places, if I was, you know, wearing it as a scarf to go out in the winter, I could then take it off and put it around my shoulders if I was chilly or whatever. And love it. It's going to be a regular occurrence in my winter wardrobe. So I think I'm going to leave it on like this for now. Okay, so what else have I done? So remember last month I told you that I had made a blanket that I couldn't really show because it was a gift. Well, you may have now seen that the gift was for Debbie, my friend Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, for her birthday, which was on November 26th. Happy birthday again, Debbie. And popping up a couple of pictures here that I took before it was gifted. And I did the marled thing that I wanted to try. So I took 2 strands of Tencel yarn in several colors and simple corner to corner. So what I wanted to do was, the Tencel yarn comes in 100-gram skein. So the blankets, the width of the corner to corner rows is based on 100 grams. So obviously the longer, the wider the blanket got, the thinner the stripes are going to be. But the first set is based on that. So you do pick one color. So let's just say sable. If we pick the color sable, you're using 2 strands held together until it runs out. And then you drop the sable and you pick up a new color. And let's say brown, and you're holding brown and sable together until the 100 grams runs out. And the only thing I did for color control is just made sure I get to the end of the row. So I could either tell that I was going to run out, or if I needed to tie a little bit more to make it, I just decided each section as I went for that. So you do end up using a little bit more than 200 grams per stripe, especially in the middle. But generally speaking, you can plan out exactly how much yarn you're going to need for the blanket. Yeah, happy with how that turned out. It is super, super warm, and it has been in the dryer just to like loosen up the stitches a little bit. And it got so much more drapey after being in the dryer. And I'm really happy to have made that project because I wanted to remind myself of Debbie gifting me that yarn and give her something for her new place and for her birthday. And also just to try that pattern that I had in mind. And now I'm just thinking about the other colors I still have of that yarn and wanting to try that whole marled idea again. So anyway, if you have any questions about that blanket, please just leave me a comment below and I'll be happy to answer them for you. And while we're discussing blankets, as you can see, I moved the camera a little bit to show you another blanket, or at least partially show you another blanket. I will be popping up some pictures so that you can see it fully on the screen, and there is no way I'm going to be picking up that blanket. That blanket is a Christmas gift, and we'll see whether or not the person figures out it's for them. It is made with Bernat blanket yarn in the colorway Gray Storm, and I should say it's actually blanket double take. So I guess that's what they call it when it's got the two-tone. So it's a darker gray and a lighter gray, and yeah, it's called Gray Storm. So this was actually the only thing that came from Spin Right last summer in August that I actually ordered that was sent to me correctly. Oh, memories. Anyway, very happy with how it turned out. And the border was made with Bernat Blanket Breezy in the color silver, held double. So this is very interesting yarn. I am really happy that I found this on clearance. Don't get me wrong, I'd never pay whatever they were charging in $12.99, $11.99 or more could have been. But I got these for $4.97 a skein, and held double. They work out quite nicely for those types of blankets. Not as hard on my hands by far as the regular blanket yarn is. So really enjoyed working with this yarn. Just to keep it straight, the first blanket was not made this month. It was made in October. I just couldn't show it. This blanket was made in November. I do get quite a bit done, but I'm not that speedy because I keep forgetting to say sometimes, like last time I forgot to say that the poncho wasn't made last month. It was just made and I was wearing it, so I wanted to tell you about it. But anyway, at any rate, only one blanket was made this month. Okay, so there was one more rather large project, and that was a sweater also made for my dad. My dad is turning 80. Some of the things I show are for Christmas and some are for his birthday. But anyway, the sweater is for his birthday, and the sweater is made with yarn that my sister and her family gifted me for my birthday this year. So yay, the gift that keeps on giving, literally. And the sweater's here, and it's my friend Shin, my hubby, modeling for me. And it's way easier for me to show you the sweater with him wearing it than it is to show you the sweater in person. Although I will try and grab it in a minute here and show you a little bit up close. But I made it with Bernat Softee Chunky in the colorway Clay and the colorway Taupe Twist. So here it is. You can see the back. This is the Clay colorway, and this is the Taupe Twist colorway. And this is the front. And I sewed some buttons on. And this sweater is made so foundation double crochet all the way over that way. Started working it up, got to the neck. And then what I did was I also did foundation double crochet down this way and then continued. So really it was all one piece. I didn't have to do two pieces and seam them together. And then the sleeves just come off of that. And there is some edging with post stitches on the sleeve and at the very bottom. And I didn't follow a pattern, but like I followed the knowledge I had from a bunch of different tutorials that I've looked at over the last while, and even from making my summer top this year. So it's not like I invented it by any stretch. I did learn though, and I find that this happened a little bit with my summer top before, and it's happened with other things I've tried to make for myself, is that with an even stitch count, it rides up in the front. So I'm glad that I tried this for my dad's, because when I get around to remaking the sweater of mine that I completely frogged earlier this year, I'm actually going to make it an uneven amount so that the front technically has more than the back, because that way hopefully when it's sitting on me, it won't ride up in the front the way that this one originally had. So I just fudged the bottom a little bit. There are some extra rows in the front that are not in the back of just straight back and forth double crochets to make up for that. I still think it looks great, and it will be super warm, and hopefully he'll just love having something that his daughter made him for his 80th birthday. That's the goal anyway. I also did want to mention that there will be a link in the description box below for a GoFundMe for our friend Sharon from Sharon's Crochet Corner. It was part of the description box of my last video, but unfortunately my video had come out before I'd actually heard about it. I know many of us have already donated to the GoFundMe or donated through the wonderful initiatives that Mama Swift has been doing, but in case you haven't heard about that yet, please have a look there and consider contributing to our friend Sharon. It's an extremely worthy cause for someone we care about very much, and she needs a new wheelchair, so hopefully we can all get her there collectively in this wonderful crochet community. I also have a channel shout out for you. Brand new channel, 50 subscribers so far. Lovely girl, comfy, cozy crochet with Tris. And I'm popping up a picture of the channel here. Please go over and subscribe to this channel and check her out. She's got a few videos up already, and the link will be in the description box below. And on to the littles. Of course, there were scrunchies made this month, but you know, they're not going to make an appearance every single time. I had started something, I don't even know what it was, but I just kept going, and I ended up with 3 of these. I don't know if I was considering starting a coaster, but I had like little scraps, so they're just the, you know, the different versions of the same 3 colors. So little face scrubbies, makeup removers, however you want to say. I made a couple of coasters just playing around with a pattern that will show up a heck of a lot better in a non-variegated yarn than it does in this yarn here. One of them just has more repeats than the other. Same idea, same pattern with some V-stitches and some picots going around for a few rows. And a few dishcloths. So this one is in the Bernat Scrub Off. And I'll pop up the colorway will either be in the description box or on the screen, or both. So that's a corner to corner one. This is a hot pad with regular peaches and cream, one of the gray colors, held double, nice and sturdy and will survive anything you put on it. And another solid gray dishcloth, this time in the lemon peel stitch. Love the texture with the lemon peel stitch. And then playing with some Christmas, I did another lemon peel. And this one has the Mary Maxim scrubby yarn on the outside, which gives nice texture. And I also wanted to practice one of Krista from the Secret Yarnery's new blanket tutorials she's got out. She's got out a couple of versions of it already. I think it's the Granny Ruth baby blanket, one of the fast tutorials. And that's how it looks, just practicing it with some Christmas scraps. I love the way the pattern works up, so really cool and fun. And I was also playing with some of my Bernat Satin Sparkle in the colorway Emerald. And I have one tiny little wreath, which just got the remnants of this yarn in it. And a bunch of stars. I was playing with the star pattern that I learned from Jada and Stitch's tutorial. And I wanted to have it so that the edges weren't so rounded. And I tried first just adding an extra chain, which does get it a little bit more pointy, but then what I tried was like putting floating picots on them. So now you're getting more of the star shape I was looking for. And I have no real plans for these. They may end up on a Christmas present here or there. Some of them may end up on my tree, but you know, just playing, having some fun with some sparkle. And I am super excited to say that I don't really have any whips. My current whip is because I completely took apart a whole bunch of Christmas cotton last night as we were unpacking our Christmas decor and decided to give it new life. One was a bag slash basket, almost like I couldn't figure out which one I was trying to do, that I'm turning into a basket now. And I actually added some of that satin sparkle in there as a third strand of yarn to keep it more sturdy. And just a table runner that I had made, and I wasn't happy that it didn't lie flat, so I tried an intervention on it and I decided I didn't like it, so I've completely taken that apart. And the next thing on my agenda is I have had this yarn put aside for well over a year now because I didn't get to it last year. I have this Mary Maxim Starlet. It's the Starlet Sparkle, and we have it in the color Ruby for the red. And we have it in the color Emerald for the green. So it'll be very interesting to compare this one to the Bernat satin. And we have it in the color Topaz for sort of a neutral, I mean, it goes a little gold, but not, you know, super gold. It's kind of a sable color. And this is going to be a Christmas Afghan for our living room. And I have 4 of each, plus a little extra of the green. Not quite a full skein, I don't think. So I haven't completely decided what pattern I'm going to do yet. But I am basically going to make a few more dishcloths and let them compete for which one I like best in terms of the pattern for the blanket. And this will be an ongoing project for the month of December. I wanted to have something to work on in December just for me to chill out with and relax. And that's what this project will be. I think there is actually one more hat and scarf set that I had not finished at the end of October that has already left the building. So I will pop up a picture of that. It's a corner to corner scarf made with the Premier Puzzle yarn, and also a divine hat with a pom-pom. And I will pop up the name and the color either on the bottom of the screen or in the description box below. But yeah, that walked out the door pretty immediately after it was made. But November was busy. I've been having a lot of trouble keeping up on YouTube, which is making me nervous because I know Vlogmas is coming and it's going to be even harder to keep up on YouTube. It's just busy. It's a busy time. It's a busy time for everybody. It is difficult times for pretty much everybody. I hope you are all doing your best to stay safe and be well. And spread as much joy and kindness as you can. I was laughing because I'm usually one of the first people to decorate for Christmas, anytime really after Remembrance Day, November 11th here in Canada. But this year we had a kind of delayed anniversary getaway to the place we go to up north for a few days. And so we didn't do it till we came back. So we basically got around to it this weekend. And I had already seen a whole bunch of people had decorated last weekend. And I thought, oh, that's awesome to share that sort of festive spirit this time of year with everyone, especially in the kind of year we've been having. So any type of joy you can spread is just so important these days. And, you know, we're all here to just be part of the community to get a break from that and celebrate our crochet. And I hope that you're enjoying doing that with me. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about in this podcast, please do not hesitate to ask. Just leave me a note in the comments below. I love hearing from you, and I'd be happy to get back to you for the details. Thanks for spending this time with me, everybody. I've kept you long enough. I hope you have a great day and happy crochet.